Good morning.
Once again, and welcome to the Sunday show with me, the financial doctor of Goa. The financial doctor of Goa was the sun among the shining stars very recently. Tell us about everything that went down on Wednesday, doctor.
Yes, good morning, Joed. In fact, it was a pleasure actually conducting the session again on Wednesday. Basically, we had this Shining Star program, and in this, the topic taken was the first was the most important is the SMART goals. Setting a goal, writing it down is what brings results. Because what we have done is when we found the analysis, only 3% of the people actually write down their goals. Many have goals, but only if you write it down, then you can bring results.
You're talking about financial goals.
It can be financial goals, it can be any goals in life. But when it is written down, because this was done by a survey at Harvard University by all the MBA students. So they did a survey and they checked it out. Only those who had written goals achieved success.
Again, I learned something. I'm going to write down my financial goals starting today, this Sunday, the 6th edition of the Sunday show. Once again, welcome to everyone who has tuned in for the show. It's been quite the journey, the last 6 episodes, this included, of course. Tell us how's the journey been for you, Doctor?
It was a terrific one. I told you as far as possible, we have known many students have started attending these programs which we conduct on a weekly basis. In fact, many of them watch it on YouTube also live. So we have a quite good attendance and many students have really started taking a lot of interest.
That's one thing I want to encourage our listeners as well. Our listeners, your families, your younger children as well. Encourage them to attend these live sessions on YouTube. Of course, on the Nave Marg Foundation YouTube channel. Subscribe to the channel and also hit that bell icon, right, for future updates. So we have Moses, who is descended from the Bible and is with me in the studio. Moses, I say, because he's written the 10 commandments. Of course, these are the financial commandments, and you know him more fondly as Dr. Celso Fernandez. Tell us a little about what are the 10 financial commandments and how you came up with this idea.
Well, what we have found is that these are the simple rules that all the rich people follow, and these were written down in the Babylonian times. Anybody following these commandments has to enjoy financial independence. And now, since we are actually going to be celebrating the Financial Independence Day, that is on 15th August, we said let's start putting up these rules and commandments which all the rich people follow. The moment you start following, and it's very simple, which we try to explain in the form of stories.
Absolutely, I was going through them, and on that note, I'd like to share the first financial commandment and the story that you came about with the related to the first financial commandment, if I may.
Yeah, the first commandment is definitely don't save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving. Means pay yourself first and then pay others.
Okay, so again, we're learning something. Can you repeat that once again, Doctor?
See, it's very simple. See, the moment you earn your salary or you get your salary, what do you think of first, your expenses or your savings?
Expenses, maybe?
That is true, but first thing is you have to save first and then manage your expenses with the remaining part. Let me give you a simple example. A person earns a salary of say 10,000 rupees. If he decides to keep aside 3,000 first and then manage his expenses with 7,000, that is what is rule number 1.
But I need to go shopping to the mall. You need to take your...
Yes, you manage your shopping along with that 7,000, but first pay yourself that 3,000 and then adjust yourself with 7. Because see, if you spend entire 100% of your salary, that means you have to work daily.
Okay, I like the way you're getting aggressive with me right now. This is the way you need to start saving, Joed. I will take that advice from you, Doctor. And the first financial commandment, of course, is related to this story, which I'm going to share with you right now. Happiness is the most sought after commodity in today's time, and so is prosperity. We all wish to have happiness and prosperity in our lives. Yet, an increasing number of people are failing to attain both. A lot of this is because of financial stress. We are all in a race to live a better life today and build a glorious tomorrow. And in attempting to win the race, we court misery and distress. However, attaining financial stability is not as daunting as it seems. With Stacy's story, let's find out the first step towards financial well-being.
Oh, my googly whoosh. Mama will make all your dreams come true. Stacy promised her 6-month-old son, Brandon, while playing with him in the nursery. However, as soon as she promised to ensure a bright future for Brandon, Stacy felt a bit queasy. She had a feeling that her promise was hollow. Stacy and Kevin had met in college, and after their respective campus placements, they said their I do's 5 years ago. Ambitious, hardworking, and intelligent. Both Kevin and Stacy did extremely well in their careers. Kevin got a meteoric growth in the pharmaceutical company he worked, and in record time was gearing up to be a part of the senior management team. Stacy, on the other hand, was already appointed as the head of marketing India and Southeast Asia for the wellness products company, where she had joined as an assistant marketing manager. At present, she was on extended maternity leave. The accelerated career growth also meant a sharp increase in the couple's monthly income. The combined salary was enough to buy the most exquisite and lavish things in life, and they lived in style. They shifted to an up-class neighborhood, bought 2 very expensive imported cars, and frequented the finest of restaurants in town. Besides, whenever the two got time together, they traveled to exotic places around the globe. Kevin loved Stacy and loved even more to pamper her silly. He often bought her outrageously expensive gifts. Stacy too loved the glamorous life. However, at times, she also had the nagging realization that they were spending all that they earned and not a penny was being saved. Whenever she tried to discuss the subject of saving with Kevin, he would say, "We will save, dear, we will. My promotion is around the corner and we will religiously save the increment portion." But that never happened. There were always EMIs and credit card bills to be paid and international trips to be planned. Now cradling little Brandon, Stacy couldn't help but think of the millions they had spent on things that they didn't necessarily need. Only if I could get back all that money and keep it aside for my son, she thought reproachfully. A sudden thought brought Stacy to attention, and she dialed a number. Anita, her colleague, had long ago asked her to meet a well-respected financial expert to discuss savings and investments. Stacy couldn't visit the expert that time as they never had any savings. After taking the number from Anita, Stacy fixed an appointment with the expert. She also pursued Kevin to accompany her. Hearing Stacy's concerns, the financial expert said, "You guys are making the classic mistake that most people make." He explained that the natural impulse is to pay off your expenses and spend on things you want as soon as you receive your salary. This leaves nothing in the end for savings. But if you save before you spend, you will learn to curb your expenses and save regularly. You too must save at least 25% of your salaries and keep the rest for spending. In fact, you must invest 25% of your salary, said the financial expert, who then explained to Kevin and Stacy the concept of mutual fund investments through systematic investment plans, better known as SIPs. Instead of keeping your savings idle in bank accounts or putting them in traditional saving schemes, you can actually make your money grow at a much faster rate by investing in mutual funds, he explained. Kevin and Stacy followed the expert's advice and soon started to invest a big chunk of their salaries in mutual funds through SIPs. This small step changed their lives tremendously. 10 years later, Kevin and Stacy were at the peak of their careers. They were earning fat salaries, yet they were not dependent on it for their survival. Investing before spending helped them grow a huge portfolio, which was self-sustaining and grew perpetually. On Brandon's 10th birthday, the couple took one more life-changing decision. Their ever-growing portfolio ensured a comfortable life for them, as well as world-class education for Brandon. Stacy resigned from her job to spend more time with Brandon and positively influence his growth, while Kevin left his job to launch his dream social project in microfinancing for the poor of India. And just to reiterate, financial commandment number 1, don't save what is left after spending. Spend what is left after saving.
For those of you who got immersed into that story around the first financial commandment, wake up, we're still here. Dr. Celso Fernandez, the financial doctor, like I love to call him, and myself, Joed Almeida. There's so much planned for the week ahead. This coming Wednesday, of course, you're again going to be speaking about shining stars. And later on Saturday, Independence Day, when the entire country will celebrate Independence Day, we here in Goa will be celebrating the Financial Independence Day with Dr. Celso and Nave Marg Foundation. Tell us all about what's in store for the week ahead.
No, as you already said it, as far as Wednesday's program is concerned, the Shining Star program will be talking this time on goal setting. Now, we have spoken on goal setting. This time it's going to be time management, wherein how people actually find time to do their activities properly. So if you plan your time, you'll get a chance to succeed in life. And of course, 15th August, I'm expecting a huge audience for it. Because Hitesh Mali, a very well-known speaker, is going to be addressing us on financial independence. So naturally, the way India is going to change over in the next 10 years, he will show you the picture on what exactly is the benefit of financial discipline.
Well, that's something you cannot afford to miss. Once again, it will be on the Nave Marg Foundation YouTube channel with Hitesh Mali and Dr. Celso Fernandez and his team at Nave Marg Foundation. And don't forget the Wednesday episode of Shining Stars as well. That, of course, is at 7 p.m. like always. Thank you so much for your time, Doctor. Wish you a safe and a happy week ahead. Of course, I'll be joining you on the podcast, on YouTube, of course, on Wednesday and on Saturday. And here's wishing you a happy Independence Day as well ahead, in advance.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.